Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back. Today is brought to you by the fact that I have no time to set up my camera equipment to film a video today. So I am sat here. This is my dresser. This is my stack of books, and I'm gonna haul it for you. This is the first book haul that I have done in a couple months. In case you guys did not know, I went on a book buying ban for the months of January, February, and March. Now, I gave myself a little bit of leeway because I had credit at my local used bookstore, so I did end up picking up a few books over the course of January, February, and March. I also had one Owl Crate subscription box left in January before I let my subscription relapse. So that book is in here as well as some other new books that I have purchased throughout the month of April. This is going to be a pretty quick book haul. I have 10 books to show you today, but all of them I am very excited about, so let's just get into it. The first book I have to show you is Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This recently came out in March. I ended up purchasing it in April when my book buying ban was over, and I am super excited to get to this. This is the first book in the Illuminae Files, which is a sci-fi series that is told in mixed media. And what is happening is there is this very large space corporation that is trying to cover up some of their illegal happenings, and that includes a lot of our characters and lots of space travel, artificial intelligence, secret messages, hacking. It's so much fun. I'm really enjoying this series, especially the first one. I'm hoping that the third one will live up to all of the hype. The next book I have to show you is We Are Okay by Nina LaCour. This is a very short young adult contemporary book about a girl that is running away from her past when her problems eventually catch up to her. Now, let me tell you about Nina LaCour. If you've been around on my channel at all, I talk about Nina LaCour constantly, but I've never actually read one of her books. So there's that. I've read a lot of Nina LaCour's short stories, and I own a couple of her books, this being the second, and I'm hoping to get to this very soon so I can stop saying that I like Nina LaCour, but I've never read any of her books. It's just getting a little ridiculous. Then we have Honor Among Thieves by Rachel Kane and Anne Aguirre. This follows a girl that is a criminal on Earth, and she's trying to avoid jail. So she joins this team of space explorers that are put on alien sentient ships, and it just sounds so good. Read the synopsis. It's very long. I'm not going to read it to you, but it hooked me from the beginning. Sci-fi, young adult, beautiful cover. That's all I need. The next two books I have to show you are from the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series. I picked up Girls in Pants and Sisterhood Everlasting, both by Anne Brashears. Now, I found a bunch of the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series on Book Outlet a while ago in these new format, and I don't have my old original copies anymore. My sister has those copies, so I decided to pick up these ones. I actually have the other two coming in the mail. They weren't all on Book Outlet at the same time, so I've got I believe this is the third and the fifth sort of spin-off years later installment for these ones, and I already own the first one, which is up there, and I've got the other two coming in the mail, so I'll finally have a complete set, and I'm really excited about that. Next up, we have a very recent release and a very, very hyped book, and that is Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi. This is a fantasy novel, young adult, that follows African culture and folklore and history and things like that, which is something that is very unique to the young adult fantasy. So this book is very hyped, and I believe it's for really good reasons, and of course I picked it up because it sounds absolutely fabulous. Then I picked up Traitor to the Throne by Alwyn Hamilton. This is the second book in the Rebel of the Sands series, which is a young adult fantasy that follows kind of Middle Eastern culture, which I ended up reading the first book in a readathon in December, and I surprisingly loved it, so I picked up the second book. It's a lot thicker. I have not gotten to it yet, but it's top on my priority. The third book just came out, and I really enjoy this series, so I want to continue on. Then we have my January Owl Crate book of the month, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is a young adult fantasy series that follows Fae and a human that grows up in the Fae world. I'm not too hyped on this, to be honest, but I am going to give it a try because people say Holly Black's writing is very addictive and very good, and I've heard a lot of good things about this one, so I'm gonna try it and we'll see what we think. At my local used bookstore, the last 2 books I picked up were This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, a young adult fantasy world where there are different kinds of monsters in a very divided world. It's a dual POV, and the thing that's kind of the buzzword for this is that there is no romance in this duology. So again, heard good things. I'm in the middle of A Darker Shade of Magic, which is my first Victoria Schwab book, so maybe this will be my next one. Finally, we have Gunslinger Girl by Lindsay Ellie. I was very surprised to see this at my used bookstore because it is a pretty recent release. It's a 2018 release for sure, and this is a Western. This is a Western that takes place in an alternate history of the United States where there is a second Civil War going on after the first Civil War, and the West is just as brutal as everybody thinks it is, and it follows our main character trying to survive her life as a woman out west in the nitty-gritty times. So it looks like so much fun and so interesting, and I've had good luck with this James Patterson publishing house, so we'll see. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for bearing with this format. I hopefully will be back to the full setup, lights, camera, action, etc. in the future. Things are a little bit crazy for me now, but I wanted to take some time to film so I could get a video out. Alright, have a good day. Bye!